everybody, Ribbit here. Today we're going to make Portuguese linguica with garbanzos. And garbanzos are known in the US as chickpeas. Now, linguica is a hot, spicy sausage from Portugal. They utilize red wine when they make it, and it's fermented. It's very spicy. If you can't find linguica, it's very hard to find here. You can use Spanish Chorizo or any spicy sausage you'd like. Okay, so we're going to cook that, and I found a bottle of real nice Portuguese wine. It's just a red blend, and they graze sheep in the area where they grow the grapes, hence the sheep in the front. Okay, we got sweet Spanish paprika, salt and pepper, and you see the rest. Let's get going. While the chickpeas are boiling over there in that burner, we're going to brown up the linguica. Now that the linguica has been browned and set aside, in the same pan to save those delicious bits, we are going to deglaze it with the equivalent of 2 onions that Mrs. Ribbit processed and put in the deep freezer when we bought that 50-pound sack, which has been very frugal and very convenient. The pot is nicely deglazed, and the onions are starting to soften up, so we're going to add a 28-ounce can of crushed tomatoes. To that can of crushed tomatoes, we also added the equivalent, another full can of water, and now we're going to add the Portuguese wine. We want to add half a bottle, which is equivalent of about 2 cups, and I just tasted that wine. It is delicious. Okay, so we got 3 bay leaves, tablespoon of sea salt, teaspoon of coarse ground black pepper, and 2 generous tablespoons of sweet smoked Spanish paprika. Let's mix that in. As you can see, this is starting to come up to a boil. And now we're going to add 2 slices of toasted rye bread. That's going to disintegrate and help thicken up the stew. You can use white bread, bread crumbs if you want. We just have some of this rye bread at home, and it works really well. So we're going to leave it like that. We're going to turn it down to simmer, cover it, and we're going to simmer it gently until the chickpeas are done. 40-45 minutes in, the bread has disintegrated. I found the elusive 2 of the elusive 3 bay leaves. Can't seem to find the other one, but you want to pull them out at this time. We're going to add a cup of hot water, and at this time we're going to add the linguica back in there, and it's going to continue cooking. That's why we weren't very worried about it when we were browning it, if it didn't cook all the way. Now at this point we got a bunch of chopped cilantro. We're going to add most of it, stir it up, and cover it and keep simmering. What we have here are 2 russet baking potatoes that I've peeled, and we're going to cut them up Spanish style. And by that is you cut them and you snap them off like that. You break them. And what that does, it gives it a shaggy, cracky edge to it, and it releases the starch better as you cook them and boil them, and it gives it a nice texture and flavor, and that's how they do it in Spain and Portugal. So we're going to do the rest. The chickpeas are almost done. They're about 15 minutes out. So at this point we are going to add the potatoes to this, and we're going to cover it back up and continue to cook them. And here we go for a delightful steaming bowl of linguica and chickpeas. But that's not all. We got to gussy it up a little bit, and this is optional. we got some chopped cilantro. You can use parsley if you don't like cilantro. And one more item, stand by. To go with it, a delicious frosty mug of cold beer. And that's not all. We have some of that toasted bread and goat cheese. Yeah. So let's have a typical Portuguese feast. First of all, we're going to try the chickpeas, which I love. Garbanzos. Very good. Nutty taste. Flavor. I didn't soak them. Don't do it anymore. They took 3 hours to cook, boil. The potato is done perfectly. Well, I can't stab it with a spoon. So let's try the sausage. The linguica. Here we go. You see that? Spicy. Okay, so I cut this potato off camera. Let's go ahead and try it in the split style, how the Spaniards cut it. Hot, hot, hot. That potato goes so well with cilantro. Yeah. The onions, the paprika comes through very well. Obviously, there was 2 tablespoons of it in the recipe. Very nice. And it's sweet paprika, so it's not picante. It has such an earthy, smoky flavor. Now, the linguica is spicy. That is the signature of linguica and chorizo. It is a very, very good sausage. You can get it fresh like I did, or smoked and hard and dried. Either way is perfect for this recipe. Oh my. Such an earthy peasant meal. Linguica, like all sausages, were made by farmers who raised pigs to use up every little bit of pig. It's frugal food. Chickpeas are cheap. They're high in protein. They're delicious. This is traditionally peasant food, farmers' food, but it is superbly popular nowadays at fine dining. Why? Because it is absolutely delicious. And with some goat cheese and this crunchy toasty bread to dip here in the sauce, it is just marvelous. That is a heavenly meal. Sorry for crunching in your ear, people. But anyway, thanks for stopping by. Hope you like this dish. We do. And we'll see you next week.